But let me introduce the IntelliVoice voice synthesis module. What the f*** is that? Well, it makes your games talk.
Mattel Electronics presents B-17 Bomber.
B-17 Bomber.
B-17 Bomber.
But let me introduce the IntelliVoice voice synthesis module. What the f***?
This is every starting gift in Dark Souls 3. There are 9 burial.
Well, this is the first game that uses the B button for jumping. Any gamer who grew up with Super Mario Bros. Expects A to jump, but that's the least of her worries. To jump over a hole, you have to tap the B button and then press over. If you're holding the B button like you normally would, it locks you vertically until you let go. It's an anomaly of game programming.
Oh man, a head-on collision with a truck and a motorcycle, and the truck explodes. Now let me tell you, I still don't understand how to control this. The main problem being that I can't figure out how to turn. It has something to do with holding the D-pad and the Y button, but I can't get the feel for it. Without even hesitating, I can honestly say this is the absolute worst driving stage I have ever played. Roger Rabbit was bad, Dick Tracy was horrible, and at the time I thought that one was the worst, but now that I've played this, just wow, it takes the cake. Part of the problem is that you can't make any jump from a standstill. You have to be running fast. Another problem is that you have no control over your jump when you're in midair. The game designers really should have taken lessons from Super Mario Bros., the time-tested, approved way to make a side-scrolling platform game. Any subtle tap of the D-pad steers Mario's jump, but in Kid Cool, there is no such thing. Let's call this jump fuckness.
The select button is the stronger attack.
You sound like you might have a selection.
Who uses a select button? There is no other game that does that. The jump button and attack button should be right next to each other, but instead, you have to hop your thumb back and forth.
Well, you don't have a mutated hand.
Maybe that would help. Oh, see that? That's me accidentally hitting the fucking pause button because I have to reach all the way across the controller. Or you spread your fingers out like this. You gotta do this. But what game does that? When would you ever go like this?
Come on, it's the mark of the devil.
Yeah, this game is the devil.
Hey, come on. One in the pink and one in the stink. Here, you want to smell?
Ah!
I'm trying to understand the controls here. All right, A punches. If you tap A, it does like a jump kick. Oh, you hold the button and it shoots the web. The control is awful, and the worst thing about trying to review a game with bad control is that you can't explain it. You can only jump straight up, unless you already push,
You're pressing the wrong buttons.
No, I'm not. Look, I can't even hit this guy. Oh, look at this.
Get him! Why are you fucking jerking around?
Even when I'm falling, I can't steer myself.
Why are you jumping all over the place?
Because every time I hit the button, it like jumps.
Well, wait for him to come to you.
There's no like jump kick move. Like you can't jump and then do an attack.
Well, then don't do that move.
Well, I can't hit him when he's in the air.
Well, wait for him to come down then.
And just when you thought you had the controls all figured out, you come to this part where you need to jump down. You'd expect to be able to just simply push down, maybe in combination with the jump button. But oh, that's right, there is no fucking jump button. It's up. That would be pretty impressive, to be able to press down and up at the same time. Well, anyway, you try every combination imaginable, and guess what? It's down and R. Yeah, R. That's not even one of the main buttons. Why R? Again, the R button has to be tapped slightly before you press down. And sometimes there isn't even a hole to tell you where you're able to do that. Why is everything so cryptic?
Look, this is fucked beyond belief! It's like the controls in this game are like something you do for a cheat code, not a basic move that you have to do in order to play the game. Why'd they program it in such an asinine, ball-brained, cockamamie, ridiculous fashion? It's like, geez, there's 4 buttons right in the front of the controller. Look, that's not enough to work with. Instead, they have to, like, program it, like, all into, like, weird kind of crazy button combinations and shit. It's like, what were they thinking? It's like, up is jump, select for the grappling hook. Select shouldn't even be part of the game. Select should be, like, for the menus or something. I mean, geez, like, were they trying to just ruin this game? Just flat out just fuck it up? Well, they did. Batman Forever, it sucked back then, and it sucks forever. Batman.
Regardless of which controller you have, it seems the CDI only uses 2 buttons. So to jump, you have to press up. Being that it's a platform game and a lot of the jumps have to be done with perfect accuracy, it wears on your thumb real fast. And sometimes when I'm trying to press left or right, I end up jumping by accident. The first button is the sword. The second button is everything else, opening doors, bringing up the status screen, and using an item. It's a fucking mess, and it causes nothing but problems. To bring up the status screen, you have to crouch down and hit the button. To begin with, that's a pain in the ass. But if you're in front of a door and push the button, you end up going through the door, regardless of whether you're standing or crouching. So if you want to bring up the status screen, you gotta stay away from the doors. Also, the status screen is the only way you can pause the game. Sometimes I forget or don't realize I'm in front of a door, so I try to bring up the status screen and then I get up to take a piss only to realize that I'm in another room getting my ass handed to me. The problem also works the other way around. If you're trying to go in the door, you have to be certain that you're standing right in the middle, or else you end up using your item. I've wasted so many bombs just trying to go in the damn doors. And you want to know what I fucking hate? To collect rupees or anything, you have to stop and hit them with your sword. And you can't be standing in front of them either. You have to be in the right position. There's no other way. You don't have to do that in any other Zelda game. You see a rupee, all you need to do is touch it. But in this piece of shit, every single rupee slows you down. Most of the time I ignore them, but as it turns out, you need rupees more than ever in this game. The lanterns are for lighting the dark areas, and let me tell you, this game got really carried away with this. It's common in Zelda games that there's always dark areas, usually in caves or dungeons in which you need to light the way. But in this game, it seems every fucking place you go it gets dark. Even in the treetops in broad daylight it happens. And the lantern only lasts for a few seconds, and then it goes dark again. Cut me a break. So you're constantly switching back to the status screen to keep selecting the lantern oil. And when it runs out, being stuck in the dark is absolutely miserable. You can't even see the fucking door to find your way back out. So finding the door in the dark is a bitch. But other times the problem is trying to get your ass away from the door. Watch this situation. I go in the door, it's dark, I need the lantern, so I crouch down and try to bring up the select screen, and I exit the door. What the fuck? So I go back in. This time I make more of an effort to step away from the door. I try the status screen again, and what happens? I go out the damn door again. So this time I go back in, I walk to the left, and finally I'm able to bring up the status screen and select the lantern. As the room illuminates, you can see how big that door was. Even if I know I'm about to step into a dark room and I select the lantern in advance, it still doesn't make a difference because if I try to use the lantern while I'm touching the door, I'll have the same problem. It would have really helped if all that shit didn't have to be the same button. I know I'm digging deeper and deeper into the same topic, but it really is a continuous problem. It can even get you killed. Say I go into a dark room, I step away from the door, and I fall. How was I supposed to know there was a crevice there? All because I can't use the lantern at the door. It's fucking bullshit!
Check this out. A and B both attack. That's fine, but to jump, you press up. That's pretty shitty already, but that's not all. What do you think happens when you press down? Take a guess. You think duck? No, it jumps. You press down to jump. Whoever came up with that idea is a real cocksucker. Sucks cock. Who presses down to jump? Down should be for ducking, and this is not an ordinary jump either. It's a forward jump. Anyone with common sense would do this by pressing up and right, but not in this game. You can't even attack while you're in midair. To pick up a weapon, you have to press down and A, but you can't press them both at the same time. You have to hit A slightly before you press down, or else down makes you jump forward. I can't help but press down by accident because of my natural instincts. It wouldn't be so bad if down didn't make you jump away from the weapon, which is the complete opposite of what you're trying to do. The hit detection is even worse than Last Action Hero. It only hits if they're as close to you as possible. You don't get much range when you're trying to stab the skeletons in the dick with the sword. It's as if the sword is going through them.
All you do is steer the bobsled using left or right. So once again, the only control that you use is the D-pad. It's funny how the NES controller has two big bright red buttons that never seem to come in handy. In fact, I believe the B button is never even used once in the entire game.
I'm not even kidding, but if I were to give out an award, a big shit-dripping trophy for the worst controls ever in a video game, I think it would go to this. I mean, look at it. I've never seen anything this unresponsive. I'm hitting every button combination possible. You know, all it needs to be said about winter games is that you push buttons. That's all it is. How's winter games? You ever play winter games? Yeah, you push buttons, that's it. Go like this. You're playing winter games.
The controls are fucked up beyond belief, and that's the hardest thing to explain. There is no way I can do it justice. The only way to know is to play it yourself, and I fucking dare you. The first problem is that you're nearly defenseless. The only weapon I found is rocks that you throw. Couldn't this guy get a sword or something? And the way you throw them defies all common sense when it comes to gaming. You don't just hold the D-pad in the direction you want to throw. Instead, you have to gradually turn your arm around in a clockwise or counterclockwise motion until it's pointing in the right direction. Try doing this when there's a million